What inspired you to start this journey?
The way I was raised up, I was fortunate enough to be raised in a Christian home. Being a religious person, doesn't matter if you're a Christian, Muslim, or anything. When it comes down to it,
People mostly come to you for help.
sometimes they come to you because somebody told them about you, or they've seen your work somewhere, so they come to you.
Okay.
Or sometimes you have to be out there as a business person to sell yourself.
What are some attributes that you look out for in someone that you really want to mentor and coach?
Before we look at things like persistence and passion, you have to look at somebody who's willing to learn.
How do you assess a situation to make someone successful?
When you're working with somebody, they want to move from point A to point B. It's like you're in a battlefield. I can learn something from somebody that I'm coaching as well. I don't know everything, and I'll never know everything.
Hi guys, welcome to the Success Mindset, and today we have an amazing guest with us, and it's going to be an interesting discussion today. Today I'm here with Kenneth and then Julius. So Julius, he's a great individual doing amazing things. He has this mindset when it comes to being healthy and going to the gym, and he has a business as well. So today we will be discussing what are some of the things that he has developed to become successful in this field. So Julius, can you tell my guests about yourself? And
Yeah, sure. My name is Julius. I'm a regular guy. I go to work. I wake up every morning, and I work hard. Yeah, I'm a businessman, so I like everything that has to do with business. I have this mindset of connecting with people and helping people and their businesses grow and achieve their goals. That is, I think, how I define myself. I'm a kind of person who goes out there and help people achieve their goals, whatever it might be, especially in business, the business world.
that's amazing. So what business do you have? Like, we just want to know.
Well, I just started a business, but right now I have a business where I'm kind of coaching people to become successful minds. In short, that's what you can say. So I'm more of a professional coach in the business world, yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. Can you coach me?
I mean, coach.
So it depends. Most of the time people have those great ideas, and it's just hard for them to take the next step to make them a reality. That is why I come in. Doesn't matter where you are, at what level, we can work together and make sure your dreams come true. And that is my kind of passion in this life as well.
I'm just curious, what inspired you to start this journey?
I think the way I was raised up, I was fortunate enough to be raised in a Christian home. So I think being a religious person, the fundament of every religion, doesn't matter if you're a Christian, Muslim, or anything. When it comes down to it, religion is about being a good person.
Yeah.
And when you reach that goal, or you come to a level where you want to be a good person, you want to help others eventually, because you look at the other person and see why they're struggling, and you want to be good enough to help them. And I think that is something that inspired me, is basically religion. Yeah.
Wow.
That's
That's amazing. I mean, kudos to you.
Thank you.
I feel that takes a lot of effort, right? That takes a lot of being able to work well with people. And I don't know, do people mostly come to you for help? Like, how do you find these people that you feel they have a success mindset, that you have an idea that they want to develop?
Yeah, sometimes it's both ways, Kenneth. Sometimes they come to you because they've somebody told them about you, or they've seen your work somewhere, so they come to you.
Okay.
Or sometimes you have to be out there as a business person to sell yourself. So you see somebody and you see their potential, and you approach them and make sure they know that you can help them and show them how you can help them. So both ways, really. Yeah, sometimes people come to me, and sometimes you have to go out there, step out of your comfort zone, go sell yourself to make things happen.
But is that not challenging, especially working with people? Because being a coach, I'm sure sometimes you have to you might get on the nerves of the people you're coaching.
Yeah, it is. I think of it this way, that, every job is challenging. Sometimes you
Yeah.
you think of somebody maybe sweeping the corridors or standing by the road begging for something, maybe change, and you think that's easy. It takes a lot of guts to even just stand by the road and beg for change, because you don't know that person wants to drive a limo one day. They're thinking of having a nice house, but they just can't. They're limited to what they can do, and so they have to stand by the road and ask for change. Somebody is cleaning toilets, doesn't mean that's the only thing they can do. They want to be president.
Yeah.
So it's very challenging. It is. But that's when you have to ask yourself and say, not everybody is at the place where they want to be right now. And so you have to have an open mind where you have to accept situations, be able to move in and say, how can I make this better? Yeah.
So then as a coach, right, what are some attributes that you look out for in someone that you really want to mentor and coach and help them?
Yeah, that's a very good one. Before we look at things like persistent and passion, you have to look at somebody who's willing to learn, having an open mindset. I came here with a notebook and a pen because this is a place where I can learn something too.
That's true.
And when you're coaching somebody, if they don't have a mindset to learn anything from you, then you're not going to go anywhere with them. So as an individual, as a person, you need to be willing to learn. That is the first step to everything. If you're going to learn something, you're going to be humble enough to love what you're learning and to actually go further with it. So learning is my major thing I'm looking for. Somebody who's coachable, willing to learn, and we can work together.
I love that. Yeah.
Thank you.
So trying to work with all these people, are there certain things that sometimes you realize that you as a coach, you need to step back and be like, hey, I have to take this approach or take that approach? How do you assess a situation to make someone successful?
Yeah, that is a very good question. When you're working with somebody, they want to move from point A to point B. It's like you're in a battlefield. You're fighting a war. And when something is not working, some generals would go forward, just keep pushing the same plan they had. And we've seen in history that those people have fallen. They've failed to win the wars. But those that came back and said, hold things up, let's go back to the drawing board and see what we can do better, those became successful, like the Julius Caesars of this world, And so we need to make sure that we are also taking the same approach. I can learn something from somebody that I'm coaching as well. I don't know everything, and I'll never know everything, And so when I reach a point whereby I realize there's something here that we're missing, or there's something I can learn from this person, it's time for me to hold things up, take some breaks and say, okay, let's take back and look at this from a different perspective. What am I not learning? What can I learn to help each other grow from here? And that is how we move forward.
Do you need to be, so sometimes you go to YouTube and you see a lot of content creators and how I made 1 million subscribers, and they show their plug or whatever showing that they put in the work to get that plug from YouTube or TikTok or whatever, and that way when they want to coach people, they show it as well. Have you developed a business yourself, or do you have a business on your own apart from you being a coach? Should I be like, okay, if you are coming to me, this is what I started and I've become successful, that's why I'm able to coach you using the things that I learned when I was starting and growing my business or your business?
Yeah. In my early stages of studying as a business consultant, as a business coach, I'm reaching out.
So you studied for what you're currently doing?
Yes, I did. I have a master's in business administration, and I work in the global markets division for a very big firm in global markets. So I kind of understand the business world from the corporate world and from the small industry of entrepreneurs and small businesses. Because I've had businesses myself as a small business owner, and so I've started my outreach to people that I've actually have interactions with, people that are close to me, family and friends, people in the neighborhood that I can really make an impact on before I, broadcast my services out there to the whole world. Yeah. Because one thing I want to make sure is that people actually having fruits from what we're dealing with here, they're actually having success before I can promise it to some people that actually don't even know who I am, So charity begins at home, and right now, I consider myself being in the early stages of being at home right now. Wow. Yeah.
I like that honesty. Like as you ask the question, there are people that you ask yourself is like, this person, is it really true that they've been able to do this?
Yeah.
And as you said, you build small, right, and then you expand. You don't just start and then you just want to expand. Right.
Yeah. Above everything when it comes to business, when I was growing up, we had those impression of a businessman being somebody who's crooked, dishonest and everything like that. And that is one image that I've grown up to kind of help people not have that in their minds,
Okay.
A business person is somebody that has to be honest and friendly to you, if anything, They're there to help you more than anything. They're not there to rob you or to take advantage of you. That's not how it should be. And so that is where my foundation is, and that is where we kind of looking at things from that perspective, making sure that we are honest, we are genuine, and we're helping people see results from what we're doing with them.
Do you help people in Africa too? Cause I'm asking because sometimes I don't know if that's for you, but I saw that you've posted something on your social media, and I think is it a lettuce farm or something like that? I don't know if that's for you.
Okay, yeah. I have posted a few things on my social media, those that follow me. And yes, I do help people from all over the world that I've touched base with. I do help people from Zambia, where I'm from, with small businesses. I do help people, just coach them from having an idea in their minds and bring it to reality, actually having a business that they can, see and visualize. I have people that I work with from places like South Africa, here in the United States, and so I'm trying to be open to everyone. And so as long as I can reach you, we can work together and make things happen. So yeah.
Do you also teach them how to write like business proposals and all those things?
It's amazing. People would come to you with an idea, a brilliant idea, saying that, this is what I want to do. And when you look at it, it is something that is very, it's profitable, it makes sense, everything. But then they don't know how to sell that on paper,
Yeah, that's true.
And if you're talking about international businesses, I'm in America. If I want to get an investor from Japan, they have to understand my business from the way they do things in Japan. And so I have to make sure I know how to write a business proposal in the way that they understand it too. And so, yes, we are navigating waters, making sure we're helping people understand and know how to write businesses proposals, know how to handle a business, and actually be there to run logistics in terms of running a business.
I asked that question because, like, for me, if I want to start a business, I know how to write all those things and stuff. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but and I have older people that I work with, like who are friends close to me and stuff, and they're like, sometimes people will come to me, hey, I want you to invest in my business and stuff, and you ask them for a business plan or a business proposal, and they don't know what that is.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, where are those people from? They're like, mostly they are from Africa and stuff, and I'm like, okay, I feel like that's bad, but in other sense, I don't really blame them because, excuse me, where I'm from, like Ghana, they don't teach you those things in school. They only teach you how to become an office worker. That's it. That's what they teach you.
That is true. When I was growing up, my mother told me I should become a doctor. And my father, may he so rest in peace, he wanted me to become a lawyer or something like that, This is what you're saying. We are never taught these business principles from school. And that is why one of the things, the program that I work with is called Z Business Minds. It stands for Zambian Business Minds. It is specifically targeted for people in Zambia that are trying to build businesses. They don't learn these things and principles in school, so it's hard for them to do any businesses out there. They're crying about the economy and everything going bad because they can't stand on their own 2 feet. And so Z Business Minds is out there for Zambians to help them, achieve their goals as business minds. We're teaching them fundamental business principles that's going to help them understand what a business is, how to run a business, and how to look for investors within Zambia and outside the borders of Zambia. That is something you don't find in school. That is true. And that is something that we need to step up and make sure that people are getting that knowledge as well.
Yeah. Definitely learned a lot today, Julius. I think I need to get a notebook myself. So that at every podcast, I bring in, take notes because I feel that's something that we kind of forget to do, even though we know. Like, I feel there's a lot of simple things, that we need to be doing, but it's like the world moves so fast and we get caught up with it that we forget to do those things, right? And also, as you mentioned, we need to have that open-mindedness to learn, right?
Yeah,
we need to be like lifelong learners.
Oh, yes.
And thanks for sharing that. And I feel I've really learned a lot from you just, with this short period of time that we've had.
Thank you.
But one question that I would like to ask finally to you is, what do you think has kept you going?
That's a very good question, Kenneth. I appreciate it. It reminds me of one of my favorite, professional coach, you can call him. His name is Brian Tracy, if you know him. Brian Tracy says that one of the most profound things we can do as individuals in this world that is very important as the work we have to do is thinking.
That's true.
Especially for entrepreneurs out there, whatever you're going to do, whatever business you're going to have, billions of businesses or a million business, or it's going to bring in $100 at the end of the day. It's going to be a result of your mindset, what you've been thinking about, you know. And so I think the most profound thing we have to do is we have to embrace our thinking, you know. What are we thinking about, and what is that going to do to our futures, you know? And so sometimes we get lazy. We don't want to think. We want to scroll on social media every day. We want to watch movies 24/7. We have this, we fail at something. We don't want to think about it anymore. We want to run away from thinking. But we are saying, no, go back and think about it. You know, what can you learn from that? How can you do better? How can you come on top of that next time, you know? So let's not be lazy to think. Thinking is pronounced. It's a very important and special gift we have from God. The more we think about something, English says we are what we think, right?
Yeah.
So we need to spend some time thinking than doing and just living our lives.
Wow, that's amazing.
Thank you.
I mean, what final words do you have for our viewers out there? Like 3 key principles that you share with them that you feel as a coach would help them develop that kind of like mindset to also be successful, in some point in their life, if they even choose to.
Yeah, you know, at the beginning I said, you know, I was fortunate to be raised in a Christian home. So it doesn't matter what religion you practice. I think for me individually, it's very important that I know that there's a superpower beyond me.
Yeah.
And so I think the most important thing is find your God. I don't know who it is, but find him. And then make sure you acknowledge and you have a relationship with him. When things go sour, when you can't do it yourself, look up to God. He's there to help you. He knows you more than yourself.
Yeah, that's true.
So it doesn't matter which God you're looking to. I should say that maybe. But number one, have somebody that can help you beyond yourself. And for me, that is God. And the other thing you can do is, you know, discipline. Being able to do something because you have to, because it's important for you, your family, and your loved ones. Not just because you're doing it because, you know, you need to do it because you're a friend, because of money, or because it's easy for you to do it, you know. Discipline requires a lot from us. And I think the second thing that I would request is, you know, let's be disciplined. Doesn't matter what you're doing. If you have not disciplined what you're doing, then, you know, you're bound to fail sometime. Yeah. And, you know, the last thing is let's embrace failure. Failure is not nice, it's bitter, you know, but we need to find ways to embrace it. If you're looking at sports, you have 2 kind of managers, you know, a manager who would fail and shout at you for failing as a player, or a manager who would pat your back and say, let's look at this game again, why did we fail and what can we do better? That's a manager that's embracing failure and who's eventually going to win a title at the end of the day. And so let's find out who our God is. Let's make sure we're connected with them, we have a relationship with them. And let's make sure that we're very much principled in everything that we do. And also, let's make sure that we are acknowledging failure for what it is and embracing it, using it to advantage to learn and move forward.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
You.
Thank you so much. So that's the end of our episode for today. And if you feel that you got some impact or some lesson from this podcast, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And also, if you want us to discuss any topic, just leave that in the comment section and we'll do our best to invite professionals who are more experienced than ourselves to come sit here and then discuss with you. Just like we invited our beloved brother Julius here and he came to discuss with us. And I'm sure you guys have taken some amazing lessons from it. And till we meet again, please do your best to become a good person and also chase that dream that you are sleeping on. Just chase it. No matter what, you might fail, but the failure, just like Julius said, it should be kind of like a stepping stone for you to sit back and be like, hey, okay, this is what I did and I failed, so you take a different route. There's always a plan B. Till we meet again.